Welcome to the Connected Leaders Academy virtual conference designed to reshape your vision of transformation. As we navigate the evolving business landscape, our speakers will unveil innovative strategies to manage and initiate change. Prepare to adapt, innovate, and lead, ensuring your role as a catalyst in this transformative era.
Hello and welcome to the Leadership Summit from CLA. I am so excited to be here to talk to you about intuitive intelligence that guides your leadership, because I have learned in all these years that there's more to leadership, there's more to business than just the numbers, the data, the research. It's a holistic approach. So on that note, let me dive in here. For most of us, entrepreneurs, business owners, etc., our biggest nightmare is losing everything in the blink of an eye. Not just the business, though, devastating enough as that is, but the dream itself. Because if you're like me, you pour your heart, your time, your soul, your identity into building something from nothing. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. You nurture it from concept to reality. You celebrate every milestone, even the little ones. You weather every setback. And then suddenly, without warning, it can all disappear. You might have made a bad decision. The economy might have tanked. We might have had a pandemic. Whatever the reason, there are times where we all fall on our face. Well, 5 years ago, that nightmare was my reality. And as devastating as that moment was, it taught me some of the most valuable leadership lessons of my career. The most important one for me is our intuition is our most powerful business tool if we're brave enough to listen to it. And the key word here is brave, because it takes real courage to trust that inner voice when everything logical, everything practical, all the numbers, all the research, everything we've been taught about business seems to be pointing in the opposite direction. Here were the warning signs. Let me tell you a little bit about my background here. I had built a thriving social media and online business management company from scratch. And I mean, truly from scratch. Every client relationship, every system, every success and failure, it was all mine. But I was living the entrepreneur's dream. I was choosing my clients, setting my own hours, using my organizational gifts to create something incredible. I had the freedom to make decisions, the ability to pivot when needed, and the satisfaction of knowing I had built something sustainable. Then came what seemed like the perfect opportunity, my golden goose, my Mr. Big, my chance of a lifetime. You see, I'd been striving for 6 figures for many years, and I was so driven to make that goal. And this opportunity was it. My biggest client wanted to go exclusive. They wanted me to just work for them. So let's paint the picture on paper, what this looks like in numbers and paper and the materialistic side of it, so to speak. It was steady, reliable revenue, predictable hours, no more hustling for new clients, a chance to grow with an established company, security and stability, and the ability to focus all my energy in one direction. No longer being the jack of all trades, no longer jumping from project to project, task to task for different client, for different adventure, so to speak. So what kind of a fool would pass that up, right? It was everything we're taught to want in business as business owners: consistency, growth potential, security. It was the brass ring, that golden ticket, that validation that I'd made it. I was there. I was at 6 figures. Yes. Well, here's the thing. As it turns out, my intuition was trying to be exactly what kind of fool that passes that up. You see, because while I was celebrating my golden goose, I made it to six figures, my inner voice was screaming at me, warning me, asking me these questions, tearing at my gut, saying, "Are you sure this is a good idea? Is this really what you want?" Remember what they say about eggs in baskets? Well, I ignored all those warnings because, like many leaders, I was caught up in the excitement of making it. I had reached that milestone we all dream about, the big client, the steady income, the proof that all my hard work had paid off. I wasn't just ignoring my intuition, I was actively fighting against it. Every time that inner voice spoke up, I pushed it down harder, shoved it away. Sometimes I literally told it to shut up because I didn't want to hear it, because I was there. I made it. I was at six figures finally. Well, and here's what's fascinating about intuition in business. It doesn't just tell you what's wrong. It shows you why. You see, my inner voice wasn't just saying, "Don't do this." It was reminding me of fundamental truths I already knew. I had started my business to have freedom and autonomy. Diversity in client base is a strength, not a weakness. True security comes from flexibility and adaptability. And my business was built on relationships with multiple clients. But of course, I didn't want to hear any of that. I was too focused on what I thought success should look like. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You've heard that, right? So then here it comes. Get ready. Without warning, my golden goose said goodbye. The contract was over. Just like that, 10 years of work, my pride and joy, my passion, my baby, my business, my dream, all of it laid in ashes at my feet. But it wasn't just the loss of income or the end of a contract. It was the sudden realization that I had traded my entrepreneurial identity for an illusion of security. And the worst part? That annoying little voice in my head had been right all along. And not just right in a general sense. It had been specifically, precisely right about every single concern it had raised: the risk of dependency on one client, the loss of entrepreneurial freedom, the danger of abandoning my business model, and the importance of maintaining diverse relationships. So, as you can imagine, I am freaked out, melting down, crying, devastated. And in the middle of my meltdown, and let me tell you, it was a proper meltdown, my husband watched me rant and rave and scream and cry and yell and cuss. You name it, he let me do it. He let me express it. He let me process it. Every emotion, every fear, every bit of anger and disappointment was laid bare. Then he looked me dead in the eye and said one word that changed everything. Good. Good? How could losing everything possibly be good? I thought he'd lost his mind. I thought I was going to lose my mind. But in that moment, he embodied something crucial about leadership that I did not see: the ability to see opportunity in crisis. So he encouraged me to look at my books with fresh eyes, run my numbers without emotional attachment, consider all possibilities, including starting over and quitting altogether, and then to think about what I really wanted, not just what I'd lost. He believed in me so much that he was willing to invest in my business for 6 months to give me a chance to start again. This wasn't blind faith, mind you. It was intuitive leadership at its finest. He saw what I couldn't see in that moment: that sometimes we need to lose everything to find our true direction. And here's the fascinating part about intuition, especially for me. Even when I thought I was ignoring it, it's still working in our favor, in my favor. Because you see, while I was silencing it during that great time, with that exclusive client, it had been quietly guiding me toward a new direction. It was quietly showing me that this may not be the right path to what I really want. So it started directing me toward a new idea, a new thought, technically a new business. It was pushing me toward a digital marketing agency idea. So thankfully, I had started exploring that idea months before everything fell apart, before I got fired. And I even quietly launched it as a side project, as a second revenue stream. I had unknowingly been listening because I had started to realize that the golden goose was limited in revenue possibilities. I figured out that 6 figures wasn't enough. I wanted more. And I was never going to reach multiple 6 figures, and definitely not 7 figures with one client. This is what true leadership intuition looks like. It's not just about avoiding disasters. It's about preparing for opportunities before you even know you need them. It's about listening to the subtle nudges toward new directions, following seemingly random interests that later prove crucial, trusting that inner wisdom, even when it seems illogical and impractical and kind of crazy, and building bridges before you know you'll need them to cross that river. But the story doesn't end there, because old leadership habits die hard. Because as I rebuilt this new digital marketing agency with the freedom to do what I want, how I wanted, based on my experience, my coach and mentors' support, my husband's support, I fell back into the hustle culture. Yes, I did. I started working around the clock again, taking every call, flying everywhere for networking and conferences and masterminds. I was pushing myself to complete and utter exhaustion. I was saying yes to every opportunity, even if it was not ideal, even if I didn't really want to do it, but I wanted that income. And I was trying to prove myself all over again. I was doing exactly what society tells us successful leaders do: grinding, hustling, pushing through barriers, push, 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 go, go, go. I was working harder than ever, determined to rebuild bigger and better than ever before, until my body literally forced me to stop. My body said, "You're done, no more." I had a severe case of COVID, so bad that I lay in bed, barely able to move, barely able to get up for 24 hours. But while I was laying there in that sickness, I finally heard what my intuition had been trying to tell me all along, this whole time: ease and grace, time and space. Another message, totally transforming my entire approach to leadership and business. Because I learned that success does not have to come at the cost of well-being, of my health, of my sanity. Business growth can be sustainable and graceful. The journey matters just as much as the destination. Leadership is not about constant pushing, and rest isn't just necessary, it's actually strategic. So today, I lead differently. I've created a business that provides high-level support for companies ready to reach the 7 and 8 figures and beyond. But I do it with intention and balance. I provide fractional marketing departments and create results-driven marketing strategies that help 7 to 8 figure service providers achieve growth, scale their businesses, and fall in love with their business and their life again. And guess what? I'm walking my talk because I'm doing the same things for myself. This isn't just about work-life balance, because let's be honest, A lot of the time, balance is not possible between work and life and everything else. But it is about fundamentally reimagining what leadership looks like, what business strategy looks like, what your life looks like. It is about trusting your team instead of micromanaging, growing sustainably instead of explosively, making decisions from wisdom rather than fear and scarcity for that matter, because I was really mad about scarcity in a bad way, and building systems that support life, not just profit, building a business that sustains your lifestyle, that feeds your lifestyle instead of the opposite. Here's what I've learned about intuitive leadership. Number one, you have to create space for inner wisdom. We have a noisy world everywhere we go. Your intuition gets drowned out by the constant chatter of should and must, shoulda, coulda, woulda, hustle, bro, grind, grind, grind. Quiet time is not a luxury. It is a leadership necessity. Your inner voice speaks most clearly in stillness. Regular reflection isn't just meditation, it's strategic planning. Number two, pay attention to physical signals. Your body is a sophisticated feedback system. And sometimes your intuition doesn't speak to you in your head like a voice. Sometimes it speaks through your body, through, the butterflies you get in your stomach, that pit in your gut that kind of is like a worrisome thing. Those physical symptoms often precede business problems. Your energy levels tell you more than your profit margins. And stress is not a badge of honor. It is a warning sign. And third, trust the journey. Success is not linear. Setbacks often contain hidden opportunities. The wrong path sometimes leads to the right destination. And your intuition sees the whole map, not just the next step. The most powerful leadership tool isn't a strategy, a system, or even a team, though all of those are super important. They are necessary. But the ability to tune into and trust your intuition while balancing it with practical business sense, that is the key. And this isn't about choosing between logic and intuition. It's about integrating them together. It's a holistic approach. Body, mind, soul, spirit, intuition, business, numbers, data, research, etc. Would it have been nice to learn this without losing everything first? Absolutely. But sometimes our greatest leadership lessons come from our biggest failures. The key is to listen to that inner voice before it has to break out the baseball bat, or in my case, a case of COVID, to get your attention. You see, in my 15 years now total as a business, I have learned that the universe has baseball bats. That's what I call it. And I'd much prefer to learn my lessons strategically, as gently as possible, than another walloping baseball bat from the universe. Because it is so much nicer, it's so much easier to do all of this as a journey to a destination, not a rat race to the end all be all. And it doesn't matter what your goal is in your business, 6 figures, 7 figures, no money goal at all, having an impact, serving more people, whatever the case may be, the combination of your inner voice, your gut, and I mean really, truly trusting your gut, and then the strategy, the business plan, the analytics, all the things that help you follow your passion holistically. Holistically is the key here. Because you remember this, your intuition isn't just that annoying voice trying to rain on your parade. It's not trying to spoil the party. It's not trying to tell you to sit down and work, 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 or not work, work, work. It's your inner leader. It's your inner GPS, trying to guide you to where you're meant to be. When we learn to lead with both our head and our inner wisdom, we create businesses that don't just survive, they thrive with ease and grace, time and space. And I don't know about you, but that sounds like way more fun and a way better experience to building a business, growing a business, leading a business. And can you imagine what kind of inspiration that is for your team, for your vision, for your mission, for your clients? Because when you come from that direction, when you come from the holistic approach and you're following your passion, leadership actually comes way more easily too, because your inner voice, that GPS, is a guidance system that knows what you want even better than you think you know what you want. I mean, look at me. I thought I wanted this epic singular client that meant I got to do just this one thing and make 6 figures, and whew, I was there. But in all reality, as we now see, that was not it. I wanted more. I needed more. And my intuition stayed by my side the entire time, even when I ignored her and shut her up. So let me leave you with this last thought. The true measure of leadership isn't how hard you can push or how much you can endure or how much stress you can take, how much go, go, go you can do, because being a badass doesn't mean you have to kill yourself to get there. Doesn't mean you have to be the tough guy, the tough woman, I can do this all by myself. I'm a big girl. I'm a big boy. I don't need anybody else. True leadership is how well you listen and can listen to your intuition, to your body, to your team, to the quiet voice that's trying to lead you home. Because in the end, if you are listening to all the aspects and not just listening, but hearing it, and then allowing it to guide you into inspired action, you will see that your journey to your destination is much more fun, much more successful, and you don't have to lose your mind, you don't have to lose your soul, and you certainly don't have to lose your health and your well-being. So I challenge you all in this moment to sit and listen and hear your intuition. Feel your intuition. What is it trying to tell you? And more importantly, how will you respond? Thank you so much for being here today. Please be sure to connect with me on social media and my website and anywhere else you find me. I'm so grateful to share intuitive leadership with you all today.
Thank you for participating in today's enlightening session. As we transition to our next expert, remember that each strategy and insight is a step toward becoming a transformative leader in your field. Visit connectedleadersacademy.com to stay engaged and informed. The journey of change is ongoing. Let's move forward together.